Thank you to Verb Energy Bars for sponsoring today's video. Do you ever wake in the morning and feel tired, or do you ever have a midday energy slump? If you ever feel like you need just a quick boost in energy to get you through your day, then give Verb Energy Bars a try. The bars are infused with organic green tea and have the same amount of caffeine as an espresso, but without the crash and jitters. Each bar is low in sugar and just 90 calories and gluten and dairy free. They contain familiar ingredients to provide a great source of energy, keeping you revitalized for the day. They are ideal for pre- and post-workouts when studying or at work for energy on the go. They are a great grab-and-go snack, perfect for your handbag, the car, and they even fit in your pocket. Verb has a really awesome free trial pack where you can try their top 4 flavors for just the cost of shipping, which is less than $1. They have blueberry crisp, double chocolate, salted peanut butter, and peppermint mocha. Our favorite is the chocolate chip banana bread. Verb is always releasing new delicious flavors, and this month their newest is red velvet. Click the link in the description box to get your free trial pack shipped right to your door.
Movie!
It's all like standing his hair up.
And over in instead of carrying it. Yeah.
You're gonna want.
I can't lift any of these. Are these heavy?
We had to get the hay moved as we've got a 4-day storm coming in. And this is where we want to have the hay stacked in the future once we get the new chicken coop / goat barn / hay shed built. We were fortunate to have Cedar's niece Aubrey and her husband Colton up for the weekend, and we quickly put them to work getting the hay stacked. Okay, the hay is moved out here where the hay will eventually go. If all goes well in the next 2 weeks, the old chicken coop will get turned into firewood, and we will start on the new goat chicken hotel is what Cedar's calling it. So hopefully we can get at least get the posts in the ground before the ground freezes, then I can work on it into winter without any issues.
Motel?
The Cedar Motel?
There you go.
I think there's a few of those in existence already.
There is.
I know where one of them is.
Me too.
Cedar's Chicken and Goat Hotel. There you go. I picked this up from a buddy of mine literally like a week and a half ago, knowing that it had one issue, and it has this issue with, I think it's the throttle position sensor, and when it's cold it struggles to stay running, it struggles to start. I ordered a new throttle position sensor to install on it, so I'm going to do that real quick, but really the main thing that I'm going to do today, I bought a hard top that I wasn't sure would fit on this machine. This is one of those oddball machines. I think this is a 2-year machine, 06, 07 or 07, 08, something like that. And then they went to an 800, and for whatever reason, the cage diameters on this thing are just a little bit off. So when I found a plastic hardtop for this thing for literally half the price of what the spec'd out hardtop should have been for the one that I knew would fit, would have been about $300, and I found this one for about $150. And of course, wouldn't you know it, once it gets here, it doesn't fit. There's a gap down the center. And what I found last year with that soft top on the other 500 machine, 6x6 that I had, was it's not good in the snow and the rain. I need a hard top for this thing. So I'm first going to change out this throttle position sensor, and then I'm going to see if there's a way I can make that $150 hard top fit on this thing. I really do take pride in being able to make things work regardless of circumstances. But I also have moments where I think to myself, it would sure be nice to have the right parts the first time. Again, I got rid of the two other side-by-sides that we had and picked up this Polaris Ranger 6x6 700 twin a couple of weeks back, mainly because the 6x6 is so useful around our place, getting up the hillsides and pushing snow. The 500 that we previously had was a little bit underpowered, and I'm hoping this 700 does the trick. It needs a little bit of work, but I'm okay with that. In my past life as a service plumber, there was an aspect of the job that required you to do whatever it took to get the job done, get the water back on, and get the customer happy. This is a quality that goes hand in hand with our lifestyle. Being able to think outside of the box, adapt and overcome, as they say. But again, if I'm not careful, one day I'll look around my place and realize that everything is held together with duct tape, bubble gum, and baling wire. I've tried to explain to my oldest son, Rhett, that cheap does not necessarily equal quality, but yet I still find myself doing this kind of stuff all the time. A plastic top on top of the side-by-side is not that big of a deal. But one of the long-term concerns that I have is what happens when I'm not here. Is the next person going to understand how I put something together and see how I made it work? I've definitely been hired to come in behind another plumber and clean up the mess that he left behind, simply because he may have had a different vision than the homeowner did. That being said, I find myself going behind myself, fixing stuff I've done in the past around our place. Somewhere there's a happy medium. I have to find it. Okay, I made the $150 Polaris Ranger top work after cutting a 4-inch piece of sheet metal and bending it to fit. And I suppose if you don't count the 3.5 hours that I spent making it fit, then it was a good deal. If I value my time, and as a plumber I used to get at least $100 an hour, then the 4 hours that I put into this, 3.5 hours that I put into this, as usual, stepping over $1 to pick up a shiny dime. But it's done, and I'm happy with it. The next thing I'm going to do is just slap a windshield on it and then I got to find a plow and a winch for it, and we're ready for winter. The snow change that I had for the old Polaris Ranger will fit this machine, so it's basically ready to go. I think I am going to run it down to the dealer, have them diagnose whatever this problem is, and get it running tip-top before snow blows.
It's been relatively warm so far this fall. We've had one fire, but it's going to be a high of 59 tomorrow, so we'll either definitely need a fire tomorrow night, but for sure in the morning the next day is usually when we need a fire.
So the normal process that we go through when we start a fire is we obviously load the firebox. I'll load that firebox as full as I can safely get it. I like to use my little plumbing torch to start the fire sometimes. And then we make sure the damper is open. The problem with this damper is obvious. Okay, I don't know how many times one of us has started a fire and all of a sudden the smoke alarms go off because the damper found its happy spot, which seems to be closed, and the smoke comes into the house. Cedar's been asking me for like 2 years to change out that damper.
And you did last year with the same original thing that was in it before.
This is our second damper, but these are your basic $7 dampers that you're gonna get at your hardware store. This year I ordered a real damper. This is a damper made by the same company that made all of our chimney pipes, so I know it's gonna fit right. But this damper
is made by Duravent.
Duravent, it's a one-piece damper, and we're not gonna have those issues anymore. What we have found over the last couple of winters is the damper needs to be like 15 to 20 inches above the stove. So what I'm gonna do is carefully remove the chimney so I can cut the section out that I need to install this new Duravent damper, hoping that we never have that problem again. This stove heats the entire 2,000 square feet of our house. But it's critical that we were able to choke the fire down with a good damper to control how fast the wood burns. If I leave that damper wide open, this gets so unbelievably hot right here. It's not comfortable. It gets too hot down here. But on top of that, we go through the wood much faster than we normally would. The only thing that Cedar really asks for me is that when she gets up in the morning with the kids, that it's not unbearable. And typically unbearable is about anything less than 61 degrees inside the kitchen.
But if we do it right, there's always a whole bunch of coals left from the night before, and I just throw some more new wood on it and it starts right up.
Open the damper up, throw some more wood on it in there, and
yes,
we're good to
definitely
go.
open the damper, because when I've left it down on accident,
or when it accidentally closes,
yeah.
There have been mornings when, again, the smoke detector goes off and I have to get up and deal with it. So my hope is that this new damper, which is a much higher quality, but even still, I think this thing was about 35 bucks. It wasn't too bad. Should take care of our problems. It has the spring to keep it from flopping around. So I need to cut that out now and get it in position and get rid of that old damper.
Problem solved. Once this thing gets hot a few times, it should match the rest of the stovepipe, and we shouldn't have any more damper issues again. We shouldn't have any more damper on our fire.
The first solar panel array has been wired up. It is online, it is charging the batteries, which means now I've got to get the next array broke down and mounted, and I have basically today and tomorrow to do it. We have 3 to 4 days of rain and possibly even snow. It usually warms up again, I hope, because I've got a lot of stuff I have to get done, but I literally have to get this solar panel array broke down and moved up to the house today and then get it online. I'm running out of time, so. As you can see, looking at the house, I still need to do whatever it is that I'm gonna do with the siding. if all of the horizontal siding is going to come off and be turned into board and batten siding. This is something I would love to get to sooner than later, but I don't know when I'm going to get to it. I know Cedar will love it when the house is completely finished on the outside. And really, this is something I can do into winter if I have to. As I relocate the solar panels from the ground up on the roof, the one thing that I'm trying desperately not to do is to scratch the glass in any way. The outside edges of all the solar panels are anodized aluminum, and they're quite durable. So when they do have to rub up against each other, I make sure it's the aluminum and not the glass. But this better be the last time these solar panels get moved. I'm grateful the weather is hanging on and I'm able to get a few more of these outside projects done before it gets too cold, too wet, and too muddy. But literally at the end of this week, there is a nice storm coming in that will lay down some rain and possibly even some snow. This time of year, if I'm lucky, I'll have a couple of good days where I can work outside. Then the rest of the week I have to do something else because it's too wet and muddy to work outside. I'm getting close to being done with the solar panels on the second story roof. They turned out exactly as I hoped they would. As the days are getting shorter and the sun is lowering its plane on the horizon, I have to make sure I can capture just as much as the solar panels possibly can, so we don't have to rely on the backup generator any more than we absolutely have to. All right. Thank you. By the way, the new backup generator is still sitting in the shop, waiting for me to get it installed. Nothing ever happens as fast as I wish it would around here. Before I reinstall the solar panels, I want to make sure that they are as clean as they possibly can be. I've had a whole bunch of people reach out to me and to ask why I don't use a product like Rain-X on the solar panels. After doing a little bit of research, I figured out that the Rain-X actually is not recommended for the solar panels, but that the company that makes Rain-X actually has something that is designed for solar panels. I think if that Rain-X works too good, it may reflect sunlight versus allowing the solar panels to collect it. I'm still actively trying to figure out if there is something that I can put on the solar panels that will possibly keep them clean longer. Okay, I have to bolt all these up now.
Okay.
Thank you.
That it?
That's it.
Okay. You want me to take anything down with me?
My camera started acting up a little bit here, but one of the last things that I'm trying to do is get all of the connections made and then get them secured with zip ties and put them up as high as I can, because I'm sure there's going to be a fair amount of snow stuck right behind these solar panels. When the sun hits these solar panels, they get warm. In the summertime, they get so warm you can't touch them. I'm hoping this will aid in the snow slowly melting off this side of the roof as we get into winter. I got them all mounted up here. Tomorrow I'm going to finish the wiring, and if I have enough time, I'm going to start on that second or that final little triple array that's going to go on the end of the first array. But it went way faster than I thought it would. I've got about 24 more hours and then the storm's supposed to come in, so hopefully I can get everything done. On our next video coming up, you're going to get to see what happened as this second solar panel array went online and how much more efficiently it's charging the battery bank, even as we're going into a 3-day storm. And then you're also going to get to see the start of this new barn, chicken coop, goat pen, cedar motel.